Beautiful, beautiful, bright souls, hello and welcome to Ascension's Love with Alice. It is such an honour to be here with you today as we look at the week commencing the 31st of May 2021 all the way through to Sunday the 6th of June. Can you believe we are in June already? I know, but this video here we are bringing an Archangel Guidance for the week ahead. We're going to look at the energies, we're going to look at what's going on in the week. I'm going to have a look at how we can work with the incoming energies to really help our own ascension, the ascension of the planet, kind of so that we're not really surprised by anything that's going to crop up. We get that bit of foresight in there, and also whatever they want to bring through to best navigate next week. And you know, anything that we may need to know as well, right? That's always good. It's always quite fascinating to watch these readings, and if you ever actually watch them after the week has happened as well, I always find that really fascinating to see in hindsight. Oh yeah, that did happen. Oh, would you look how that showed up? That's really interesting. So these videos are very, very fabulous in many, many ways. So anyway, I'm going to get started straight into it because these cards are just, they're bursting at the seams. I can feel Archangel Michael over my shoulder, ready ready to help start bringing some words through. So let's have a little look here. Beautiful angels, guides, ascended beings of love and light. What do you want to tell us about the week coming up? The week commencing Monday the 31st of May 2021. What have you got for us? Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we've got Durenko, we've got Faith. Look at that, Archangel Michael's counterpart. Archangel Samuel, love, and Archangel Gabriel. Sorry, not Gabriel, but it'd be funny if Gabriel just like kind of came out then. I can feel the presence of Archangel Gabriel. Guardian angel, there we go. Okay, and on the bottom of the deck we have Archangel Uriel. Uriel is all about that solar plexus energy, you know, it's all about that deep, that power, utilizing your inner power for peace, to bring peace to the planet, to everyone, right? To every aspect of your life. So let's see, let's make sure that is in frame. I think it is. Durenko isn't actually from this universe. He's only just really kind of arrived into the scene for us, and he's a wonderful archangel who really he allows us, or he helps us, he enables us to really hone in on our psychic abilities, right? So already with these two archangels coming out here, with Archangel Uriel coming in and then Faith, you know, the way that these are kind of adding up together already is that there's going to be a veil lifting next week. There is going to be some type of revelation, some type of there is going to be something that is shown to us, right? Because the thing is that we are in this last kind of push of the awakening, right, for this year. This is kind of like the last stretch, the third round. And Archangel Durenko always jumps in here and offers a bit of help when we are having that veil lifted, when there is, because you know there's numerous chambers of the third eye chakra. There's like 96 chambers, there's 7 veils. They don't all fly away at once. It's not just kind of like oh, it's open and now it's not, oh, now it's not and now it is. It's like it's a progression as well, and the more and more it opens to the light that is wanting to come in, the more the rest of our body also opens up as well, right? Our whole column of light is doing that. It's not just one particular chakra. But I'm talking about the third eye because it feels very much like there's a veil of illusion that maybe has been about, that maybe more people are going to kind of go, oh, wait, what? you know that kind of response where like some people watching this video will kind of you know, some of the stuff that you may already know, but other people haven't yet fully awoken to, however we phrase that in English. Archangel Uriel, once again, you know, he looks after the solar plexus, right? And we really want that solar plexus to ascend because it's the chakra that governs our instinct, right? It governs our gut instinct. It tells us what danger may be around us, energetical, physical, etc., etc. But when that is balanced, when that solar plexus chakra is balanced, oh, it kind of like it holds the space for the rest of your auric field. It's really quite powerful, right? It's a deep golden color. It's like your inner sun. And when you have that balance and power in your solar plexus, you know, it's so profound because anything coming in at you, although you'll be able to discern it, it's not going to impact you how it would have done when you've got an imbalanced third solar plexus, you know? And it also helps it, you know, these two pair together really well. Look, we've got hawk in here and we've got a bat in here, right? This is all about intelligence, right? This is all about kind of like spiritual intelligence, right? The bats, you know, that sonar and all that type of advanced technology. I think they're from Sirius as well. I think Durank is actually from Sirius, but don't quote me on that. I'm not entirely certain. But then, you know, with Uriel coming in here as well with this hawk, it's kind of, or even an eagle, I'm not sure. I think it's a hawk, but you know, it's kind of like soaring to the higher perspective of things as well. And this is really going to help because when we, you know, when we see things from a different point of view, you know, we're actually really able to have compassion then for other people, really able to take ourselves out of any dynamics that are maybe draining on our energy or anything like that, you know. And we're able to stand bright like the beacon of light like that we are, you know, really, really shine brightly like Archangel Faith is doing here. Look, she's in the mountains of Banff. I absolutely love Archangel Faith, and I love that it's Faith coming out rather than Michael here because, you know, this is that feminine touch as well, you know, because that is, you know, that energy is slap bang in the middle of the week, you know. We do need the balance of the masculine and the feminine because it's the feminine that really brings in that compassion. It's the feminine within every person that brings in that compassion and that grace, right? And, you know, she's really helping us recognize that actually, you know, the power resides within us. We don't give it away, right? We don't give it away, no one can take it from us, and that's going to be one of the things that comes through here, you know. And this might even be kick-started from, like, I'm recording this video before the weekend, and I know that there will be more protests happening over the weekend, so it feels like whatever is going to kind of happen then, there's going to be more solar flares happening that weekend, and with those solar flares, you know, we're going to get this more light coming in from the other suns, right, that are supporting us. If you don't know what I'm talking about when I refer to the other suns, Tim Wilde talks about this quite a lot, how we're receiving energy and light from 7 other suns around the universe, from the other planet systems, to help us with our ascension, to help us with our upgrading. But when you have faith that everything is going to work out for the best, you know, things really start to expedite in the most incredible way. And, you know, we're getting really drawn here to the flame of Archangel Faith. You know, that flame is really profound because, you know, that is the thing that does not extinguish. You know, you can't extinguish that. It's incredible. And when you believe in yourself and you believe in your light, you know, that's what, when you pair it with your solar plexus, that's kind of where it's like you become like a walking violet flame of transmutation, because anything that's coming in at you, you've got such a power of discernment over the energies that you're seeing, that you're witnessing, that you're experiencing, that, you know, you just see straight through what isn't aligned, right? You know, you can take it back to your heart space, feel into it in your heart space and go, actually, that doesn't feel like truth for me. That no longer feels like truth, you know, and that's okay as well, because we're always in this flow. So something that you may have been on board with maybe a week ago, or may have you know, believed in a week ago, that can all change and shift, right? And it depends on whether we're coming from the mind or the heart, or, you know, or the solar plexus, from an imbalanced state or a balanced state, you know what I mean? So it's really quite interesting. Now Archangel Samuel coming in here is really quite powerful, because Samuel, once again, we've got this theme of harmony. Look, harmony coming in with Uriel, harmony coming in with Samuel. Samuel is all about the expedited lightworker path. And what I mean by that is, like, we are in this, we are in unprecedented times when it comes to how we are ascending. We have never gone through an ascension process in this condensed space of time before. This is incredibly, incredibly condensed. You know, we had 2020, right? We're in 2021, and by 2032 we'll have completely like transcended through into the 5th dimension collectively, right? So we're in this unpicking and unwinding phase. And what's really interesting about Samuel is he works with Metatron, who governs your ascension path, right? And what he does here is he actually helps bring through the contrasts that you as a soul asked for, needed, in order to have the contrasting experiences that you wanted, so that you can go, actually, I don't resonate with that. Oh my gosh, I'm now clear on what I do want. Okay, I don't want any more of that. And the real key thing here, and Guardian Angel is really going to be stepping up. I mean, stepping up is the wrong phrase. They're really going to be making themselves known here, because your Guardian Angel is with you 24/7. We just have to open our hearts to them and, you know, receive their help, because we have free will, we get to choose that, but they literally have been with you 24/7 since you've been here. And the more that you actually lean into them, the more that any contrasts and any kind of collective energies that may be coming through are able to clear and dissipate and move into the lighter version, right? Because this is the thing, is that this light, once again, is never going out, right? It's never going out, so we don't have to worry about that. But there are some people that do worry about that, understandably so. But with Samuel here, you know, he does bring through some contrasting experiences for you, but only because we ask for it on a soul level, because we want change. And as humanity, we tend to only really change when we're put under a little bit of pressure, right? When we're put under a bit of contrast, right? And we can choose to learn through love, but we tend to slow down with it there. And our souls have kind of gone, no, thank you. I really want to speed this up a little bit. There's work to do. I've got my ultimate bliss to live, so let's go. And yeah, and I'm seeing here the red as well, right, of Uriel and Samuel. So it's going to be, it feels like once again there's going to be some kind of poking and prodding on the root chakra and of the womb chakra, you know, the sacral, to really kind of help further aspects of any imbalance and anywhere we've given away our power for those in those chakras, right, to other people, right? Anytime we've been a victim without realizing any of that blueprint, we may get a little bit of extra supportive prodding to help bring up something that will be that we're very, very capable of shifting. And it's time, right? So let's have a look at what is going to be let's have a look at what's going to be challenging us this week. Let's see. So how are all these energies going to be challenging us as a collective? As individuals, as a collective, what do we need to see? What do we need to hear? Physical outlet, Mother Mary, yep. A lot of mother energy here. There's going to be that's going to be a focus and a theme, is our dynamics with our mother. That's not only the divine mother of the earth, but it's going to be represented in your earth mother as well, whomever that is, whether they're still here, not still here in the physical form, and divine timing. Yeah. Know that everything is actually happening just as it's meant to. I know it might not seem that way. Sorry, just taking a sip of my drink there. I know it may not seem that way all the time, because it's like, you know, how can all this be happening? Well, it really is a controlled demolition of things that no longer serve. You know, we have chosen as the co-creator, as the divine being that we are, to create these things in the world, and we have to uncreate them now. We have to demolish them and rebuild them. So there is a process to that. It's not just an overnight switch, because we have to, within ourselves, go through that inner demolition of the belief patterns that haven't been serving us, that haven't been allowing us to step into our highest self, right? Now, the physical outlet aspect here, this card I find really fascinating, because I'm getting very drawn to kind of like the... I'm getting very drawn to kind of like ancestral lineage, especially because it's paired with Mother Mary here, and those belief systems. So there may be some kind of ancestral beliefs coming through here to shift into clear that we may find a little bit difficult. For anyone that is looking at really anchoring in that divine feminine light, I have a course called Rebirthing the Goddess. It's incredibly profound and incredibly affordable. And we do so much quantum healing in that program, and a lot of soul realignment. So if that calls to you, then we definitely, the episode that we look at the mother is incredibly transformative. So if that calls to you, have a look in the description box below, or if you're watching this on my Facebook, then just check in the pinned posts. But you know, we may feel that fidgety energy as well, you know, but I think we are going to have some more solar flares over the weekend, and the Schumann resonance is going to go, you know, and if that is the case, then we're going to need to want to move our body, right? And we're going to probably not want to, right? Because when we're not feeling like it, we don't actually, you know, when we're not feeling like it, we'll just end up kind of being on technology all day, and that doesn't help, right? So we do want to move our body around and allow that energy to express and to kind of ground and earth. You know, Mother Mary is bringing in that compassion again, which we did talk about with this feminine aspect, but you know, we may find it difficult to have that compassion, right? Because this is coming up as a challenge, so we may find this a little bit difficult, and we may find dynamics with, like I say, with our mother, that something may come up which may be difficult, right, to deal with. And you know, just know that it's coming up specifically because you are able to dissolve it, right? There may be, through this week, there may be somewhere where you have to apologize. You have to take the higher road, whether you're in wrong or you're not in the wrong, or whether you feel like you are or you think that you are. You know, a form of higher communication is going to be so key here. But you know, sometimes, if depending on who you're talking to, if they are not in that state where they can have a conversation with higher communication, you know, knowing that, you know, when you hear someone and how they feel and everything like that, it doesn't mean to say that they're 100% right, but it's that you're validating their feelings. And some people aren't in a place where they can even kind of have those types of dialogues, and that's okay. So sometimes we may have to take the higher road just to kind of diffuse any ego that may show up, because if the ego is there, you can't have a rational conversation with that, right? The ego is completely irrational, right? So we want to befriend the ego, we want to love the ego, we want to offer that, and that's how Guardian Angel is going to help as well. But you want to really love that ego, because that is your inner child, it's your wounded child within you, right? That is having a response. So if that's happening within someone else, if that's happening within you, the way that we diffuse that situation is through love and compassion, right? So sometimes we do have to apologize to our inner child, sometimes we have to apologize to another person, and the thing is that, you know, are you more happy to be like, do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? That's the thing, right? Because so sometimes we do apologize, and it's not that we don't mean it, but it's more that we care more about the peace. And not to apologize from a very, very wounded place. I just want to kind of say this, but it's kind of like not getting into, because it's like I was saying, you're going to get poked, right? You're going to get poked to the contrast. I don't necessarily mean to say, admit that you're wrong and say, sorry, not at all, because that is not standing in your power. But what I mean is, you know, don't put energy into a situation that isn't serving you, because whatever you focus on will grow, right? And this is how Samuel also brings in the lessons, is because, you know, we get to choose who we interact with, how we interact. We get to choose the emotion that we respond with, right? And sometimes it does take that extra bit of humility and being humble to be able to do that, you know, and see that it's not personal. Whatever may be coming at you this week coming won't be personal, but it's just going to be an opportunity to respond in a different way, a way different to how you usually would have done. And in so doing, you clear that karma, right? It's beautiful when we do that. So just to kind of recap, this isn't to say, you know, just say sorry for absolutely everything, even if, you know, especially if you're in a dynamic where it is a little bit abusive. That is not the case here. This is just kind of, you know, we don't want to, we just don't want to focus on an energy, right, that is going to grow if it's not serving us. So if it's a lower frequency, if you're going down a rabbit hole, you know, on social media or with someone in a conversation, you know, don't go into it. Just take a step back, right, you know, and save yourself the energy and focus it. And look at that, learn something new as well. I haven't even looked at this card yet, but learn something new, and she's dipping her toes in, and this is exactly it, right? It's like, how are you going to respond? It's a totally different way, and your guardian angel will help you with that, because this is what they are so good at, is they only see you through the eyes of unconditional love. So that means it doesn't matter what it is that you've done, or you do, or you say or think or anything like that, they hear, see, and know it all, and yet they still only love you. Not, I love you even though you've done this. No. It's just, I love you. That's because that's all they know how to do, is love and support, right? And that's it. It's that shift from kind of, you know, having the judgment attached to something, to just, you know, love, right? Just love, just understanding that, you know, everyone has a wounded inner child, even ourselves. And this is going to come back to us as well, right? You know, it's going to come back to us in the sense that, you know, can you forgive yourself? We hear that phrase, but what does it mean? Can you just love yourself just because, you know? It's really interesting. It's a really interesting one. I hope I articulate that in a good way. We'll find out, I'm sure, when I read your comments and everything. But so let's have a look at what the guidance is then for this week. So we've got Mintaken, right? So that longing for home. So what's really interesting about Mintaken is that, you know, we can sometimes, I'm going to keep that card out. We can sometimes feel that, we don't belong, right? We can sometimes feel that longing for wanting to go home, especially if you're a starseed resonating with us, especially if you are in a earth family that don't necessarily align fully with what you align with. But the really interesting thing here is that, you know, if we don't feel like we belong, if we kind of want to get off the ride, that's because our root chakra isn't anchored in light, it's imbalanced, right? The lower chakras need to be balanced. They need to be harmonious for you to feel like you belong here. Because the fact of the matter is that your body, our body, is built above this earth. So if you don't feel like you belong, there is an imbalance there in the root chakra. There is an imbalance there in, you know, the sacral chakra. And you probably struggle with, you know, bringing in support and finances and the structure, such as, you know, kind of whether someone is trying to take your power away or anything like that. You'll probably struggle with that if your root chakra isn't balanced, right? If it's still in the third dimension as well, right? So we really want to focus here. And what I would say is even like go onto the internet and find a picture of Mount Shasta and print it off, because Mount Shasta is the root chakra of this planet. And even just looking at that will help you unlock and clear whatever is coming up here. You know, we're getting asked what lights us up, Starseed, right? These aren't even the Starseed deck, right? These aren't even the Starseed card, but I love that we're getting 2 Starseed specific cards here. But they're saying, you know, what lights you up, right? That's what you want to do, is like really anchoring that joy, right? Really focusing that joy, and wherever you can laugh, right? And you know what? Melissa Virtue does a radio show, and her episode from this week that I'm recording it in was actually really incredible for that. She talks about the energy of dolphin, the joy of dolphin, and what dolphin can teach us, and amongst a few other things. And they're I'm gonna link that actually in the box below, because that would be really beneficial for anyone that is watching this reading, because of the energies that are coming in and how she articulates that in such an incredible way. But one of the things that she was saying was, you know, the pelvis is what thrusts us forward, right? And I'm remembering that from what she was saying, and that's absolutely true, right? It's like our driving force comes from the lower chakras, right? So if we're not grounding them, and if we're not expressing ourselves, and if we're not connecting with nature, if we're not doing what lights us up, then we're gonna be in trouble a little bit, you know. You know, so just make it easier on yourself, right? And ask the question, how can I feel more grounded? How can I feel more balanced? How can I do this, rather than I don't feel this, or I'm never this and this. How can I ask those questions, right? And one more card, let's see, one final bit of guidance for this week. Protection. Soul retrieval is going to be incredibly powerful to do. You know, we still are in that eclipse portal. We've got a lot of powerful energy about us. On the bottom of the deck, we've got birth in a new age, right? So that's really interesting. Yeah, that's really interesting. So you know, calling back your power, cutting cords. Look at this, and this is actually a lunar eclipse, right? And that's really fascinating, because the energy from that eclipse is still kind of in effect, and that's exactly what they're saying here. So if you haven't ever done a soul retrieval, if it interests you, if it resonates with you as I say that, soul retrieval, you know, throughout the different timelines, places, spaces, dimensions that you have been, your soul has been, you know, different experiences happen, and we can leave part of our memory, part of our soul there, and those patterns then continue to repeat and bring us, you know, things that aren't so pleasant necessarily in this life, like a pattern or a belief system or a relationship type, right? If it calls to you, I do offer soul retrievals. I offer 2 types. I offer a full broad spectrum with a 5th dimensional column of light attunement alongside with it. So that's facilitated by the beautiful star beings and the archangels specifically. And we do a full soul retrieval, broad spectrum. Or we do a cellular rewrite, and a cellular rewrite is for a specific program, a specific belief system, a specific something that you were just like, I need to clear this once and for all. Can we go into it? And then we go into it. So one's very specific, one is a lot more broader, but they are both going to be helping here. So if any of those call to you, please let me know, because I do have some spaces for the next week. We do have this birth in a new age card as well. So, you know, this is kind of the base of what, if you follow this guidance, what will happen here is, look, as you're cocooned, you're surrounded in this light. Is that on the screen? Let me just move that up. You know, and then you get into this productive phase, right? You get into this productive phase, you start to, and you know, we're still in the Gemini sun, right? Which is really incredible, because it's that air element, it's that new, it's the east, right? So it's the new beginnings, and it's a lot of like inspiration flowing in, and all these bright, beautiful ideas, right? So this is a fantastic time, and they pair together so well, right? And let's just see here. I'm just going to pull 1, maybe 2 goddess cards. I just want to see. Guys, that's way too many cards. But I'm going to take the top 2 that are here. So we've got Bast coming in with that independence. And we've got Maeve coming in with the cycles and the rhythms, right? So, wow, we've got one, I think she's Gaelic. I think she's part of the Tuatha De Danann. I'm not sure. I think she is. And we've got Bast here, which is, you know, from Egypt. And, you know, this is incredible, especially if you've got a lot of feline energy around you. I often have a lot of feline energy around me, kind of protecting and looking after the space, because that's what cats do, right? You know, if you have a physical cat, that's what cats do. They protect you from the lower energies, right? So, you know, this week is about finding your independence, and you have Bast here supporting you with that, you know, and look how golden she is, because that's exactly what it is. When you draw back your independence, when you, you know, polish up your crown and straighten it up, that's exactly what happens here. And, you know, we've got Maeve coming in with that, honor the cycles and the rhythms, the energy levels and the emotions. So really allow that flow to happen. If you need to sleep longer, sleep longer. If you feel wide awake and full of energy, you know, work with that energy. If you're feeling creative, be creative, but allow yourself to kind of release the structure a little bit, at least the rigidity a little bit, so that you can flow with the energies that are coming in. And that's how you best optimize yourself here through the space and time, you know. So yeah, and just White Tower is just jumping in here with sensitivity as well. So I just want to, can you see her? So this is just letting you know, this is going to be a week of sensitivities, right? So avoiding harsh situations, environments, chemicals, and relationships, right? So that's super important because, like I say, you know, you get to choose who you spend time with, right? You do get to choose that. You can say no. Yeah. So really powerful energies. Call upon any of these 3 goddesses as well if you feel called, as well as these archangels that are here. But know that everything is happening just as it is meant to, even though it may not seem like it is. I don't know what's going to happen specifically next week, but it's safe to say that you know, if you follow this guidance, then you're going to have a better week than many other people out there. So, and you're going to have a chance to clear upon many things, many things, and really rewrite your own internal structure and your, you know, evolve that blueprint all the way up to a gold print, right? So, so much love to each and every one of you. It's been such an honor to be here. And, you know, if you enjoy these card readings, I would love it if you commented, if you liked, if you subscribed, and if you share these videos. It really helps. It really helps the people that need to see them. If you're not yet in my Facebook group, the Isis Dream Temple, feel very welcome to click the link in the box below, so that you can join that beautiful space and invite your friends to it, because that's where a lot of these videos get posted, along with card readings and things like that. And I've just launched an Intro to Oracle micro course for £11, right? It's a 2-parter, so the first part is £11, the second part will be £11, but the first part is available now, and it actually talks about how to start reading cards. So if you are if you're a fan of these readings, if you would really love to have your own deck but have no idea where to start, what to do, then it's for you, okay? It's a really incredible course. So I'm sending you all so much love, so much white, rainbow, golden light, and just really remember to call upon Guardian Angel. You know, that's what they're there for. They are there for you, right? That's what their existence is for. That's what your existence is to do, is to work with your team of light. They're there for you. So much love and so many blessings. Bye for now. Mwah.